Good morning, Dr. Husna. My group mates and I, we have chosen PRAT as our speech technology. So what is PRAT? PRAT is a cost-free desktop program dedicated to those studying linguistics. In particular, it is an audio package that is capable to analyze, synthesize, and as well as manipulate speech. What is PRAT used for? PRAT is used for to study how people pronounce words, to analyze speech sounds in linguistics, to check pitch, loudness, and timing in speech, to compare different speakers' voices, to help in language and phonetics research, to examine accents and pronunciation differences, to study speech problems in voice therapy, and lastly, to teach and learn phonetics in class. Okay, so let's move on the ways and the guide to use the PRAT. So once you've already downloaded the PRAT app and you've already clicked onto it, there will be two windows that will pop out on your screen, which is here we have the PRAT objects and we have the PRAT picture right over here. So we're going to use the PRAT objects is where we record our audio. So as you can see here, there's an object list, but you can see there's no objects we have on our list, so we need to create one. So you can see on your top left there are menu here, which is the new button, the open button, and the save button. So in order to create an audio recording, we need to click on the new button, and once you do, there will be a record mono sound, record stereo sound, and many other options here, but we need to click on the record mono sound. And once you've clicked onto it, there's a new window that will pop out on your screen, which is called the sound recorder. And as you can see on your right hand side, there's a sampling frequency. There's many of them right over here, and we need to choose on the 44,100 frequency. And on your left bottom, you can see there are multiple there are three buttons actually, the record, stop, and play button. And here we have the files and that we need to rename it, and there's also another three more buttons on your right hand side. So let's give it a try to record our audio. Hello, my name is Priya Dashini. Okay, so I've already recorded it, and I'm now going to name my file as my name, which is Priya, and I'm going to save it to the list. So I'm going to click on the save to list button, and once you do, your audio is on your object list. Now, if you want to take a good view on it, or if you want to add it on your audio, in the right hand side here, you can see there are multiple buttons. So you need to click on the view and edit. And there you go. There's another window that will pop on your screen. And right over here, we can see the waves, the intensity of your audio. And there's also a pitch here and the duration of your audio. So if you want to hear your audio, you can click any part of the bottoms here. So let's hear it.
Hello, my name is Priya Dashini.
Alright, so you see, if you want to hear only like the first beginning part of your audio, we can just click on the beginning and you can just release it, drag it, and you can release it anywhere you want. So this is how I want, this is the part where I want to hear, and then you click it.
Hello.
So there you have it. Or you say if you want to hear the end of your audio, you can just click here and drag it, and then you click on top here where it says 1.5 and like in brackets 0.643 seconds.
Priya Dashini.
Right. So yeah, this is how you edit and view on your audio.
Hello and hi everyone, my name is Laila, and in this presentation we will analyze the pronunciation of few English words using PRAT. We will focus on stress and syllable patterns to show the differences between correct and incorrect pronunciation. The first word is vegetable.
vegetable, vegetable,
This is the correct pronunciation of vegetable. This word often mispronounced because its spoken form is shorter than its written form. In the correct pronunciation, the Pratt display shows primary stress on the first syllable, veg. The stressed vowel E has the highest amplitude and intensity, indicating strong stress. The pitch contour is clearly visible and stable, confirming that the vowel is voiced and stressed. As the word continues into the following syllables, table, the waveform becomes weaker and the pitch tracking shows lower intensity, which is typical of unstressed syllable. The middle syllable, t, is reduced, showing vowel reduction, which is common in natural speech. Now let's look at the incorrect pronunciation of vegetable.
vegetable, vegetable,
The incorrect pronunciation, vegetable, is based on spelling, such as vegetable. In Pratt, this version appears longer with extra vowel segments and additional pitch movements. These unnecessary segments increase the complexity of the waveform and pitch contour, indicating the presence of extra syllables that do not occur in the correct pronunciation. This makes the incorrect pronunciation clearly distinguishable from the correct one in the Pratt display. Okay, for the second word, OFTEN. The correct pronunciation is
often, often,
this word does not strictly follow its written form. In the correct pronunciation, the Pratt display shows a strong waveform during the stressed vowel O in the first syllable, off. This segment has the highest amplitude and intensity, indicating primary stress on the first syllable. The pitch contour is stable and clearly visible, confirming that the vowel is voiced and stressed. As the word moves into the nasal ending, n, the waveform becomes weaker and the pitch continues at a lower intensity, which is typical of an unstressed syllable. In contrast, the incorrect pronunciation
often, often,
is influenced by spelling, where the t is pronounced, resulting in often. In Pratt, this version appears longer and more complex. With additional vowel and consonant segments, extra pitch movements and intensity patterns are visible where they should not occur, indicating the presence of an unnecessary extra syllable. This clearly distinguishes the incorrect pronunciation from the correct one in both waveform and pitch display.
Hello, my name is RAUDHAH. Now let's move on to the next word, which is debris. So here is the wrong pronunciation first. Let's hear it.
debris,
Debris. And here is the correct pronunciation.
debris,
So this word is often mispronounced because the learner follows the spelling and tries to pronounce the final S, which is debris, in this S sound. In the correct pronunciation, the Pratt display shows primary stress on the first syllable, de, the. The stressed vowel has the highest amplitude and intensity, showing strong stress. The pitch contour rises slightly on the first syllable right here, and then falls smoothly on the second syllable, showing natural intonation. As for the word, as the word continues, in the second syllable, breathe. Right here, the the waveform shows slightly weaker waves and the intensity decreased, showing that it is unstressed. The ending is smooth with no extra sound at the end because the S is silent. So, because of it, the incorrect pronunciation right here
debris,
is based on spelling such as debris or they breathe. In Pratt, this version appears longer at the end with an extra segment or an extra S. The waveform shows an extra pre-added pitch movement caused by the pronunciation of S, the final S. So now let's move on to the next word, which is penalize. Right here. Here is the incorrect pronunciation,
penalize,
and here is the correct pronunciation.
penalize,
So, as for penalize, the correct pronunciation shows primary stress on the first syllable. P, the stress vowel has the highest amplitude and the intensity showing strong stress. The pitch contour is highest at the beginning and then gradually falls across the rest of the word. As the word continues into the following syllable, naalize, the waveform becomes weaker and the intensity decreases, showing that these syllables are unstressed. The middle syllable, ne, is reduced, showing vowel reduction, which is common in natural speech. In contrast, the incorrect pronunciation right here,
penalize,
which stress is placed on the second syllable. In Pratt, this version has the highest amplitude right here, as you can see the green line, and pitch in the middle of the word are higher at the beginning. This creates a different pitch contour with a sharp rises in the second syllable and weaker intensity at the start. The waveform shows the strongest amplitude in the wrong position, clearly shows incorrect stress placement. That is for both of the wrong pronunciation. Now let's move on to the next word.
For the word quinoa, the correct pronunciation is quinoa. This word does not follow its spelling, which often leads to mispronunciation. In the correct pronunciation, the Pratt display shows a strong waveform in the first syllable. This part has the highest intensity, showing that the primary stress is on the first syllable. The pitch contour is clear and steady, indicating the vowel is stressed and voiced. As the word continues into the unstressed syllable, the waveform becomes weaker and the intensity decreases. The pitch also lowers, which is typical for unstressed syllable. In contrast, the incorrect pronunciation quinoa is influenced by spelling, where the word is pronounced as quinoa. In Pratt, this pronunciation appears longer and shows extra pitch and intensity changes. These features indicate the presence of an extra and incorrect syllable. The difference is waveform, and pitch clearly shows the contrast between the correct and incorrect pronunciation. For the word database, the correct pronunciation is database. This word is sometimes mispronounced because speakers may place the stress incorrectly and change the vowel sound. In the correct pronunciation, the Pratt display shows a strong waveform in the first syllable. This syllable has the highest intensity, indicating that primary stress is on the first syllable. The pitch contour is clearly showing that the vowel is stressed and voiced. As the word moves into the unstressed syllable and the final syllable, the waveform becomes weaker. The intensity decreases and the pitch lowers slightly, which is typical for unstressed syllables. In contrast, the incorrect pronunciation database may place stress on the second syllable or change the vowel quality, such as database. In Pratt, the pronunciation appears longer and shows unusual pitch and intensity changes. These features indicate incorrect stress placement. This difference in waveform and pitch clearly shows the contrast between the correct and incorrect pronunciation.
The first word that I choose is February. In this spread waveform, we can see two pronunciations. The first waveform shows the correct pronunciation, which is February. In Pratt, we can see three clear syllables speak, which shows that all syllables are pronounced. The first syllable, Fab, has the highest intensity and pitch, which shows demand stress. We can also see the R sound after the B as a short transition between syllables, which help the word sound natural. The second waveform shows an incorrect pronunciation, often pronounced as February, where the first R is missing. In Pratt, this causes the syllable peaks to become less clear and more compressed, and the rhythm of the word sound unnatural. For the next word is milk. This Pratt analysis compares the correct and incorrect pronunciation of a one-syllable word. The first waveform shows the correct pronunciation, milk. In Pratt, we can see one clear syllable peak, showing that milk has only one syllable. The vowel I is short, which can be seen from its short duration in the waveform. At the end of the word, the L and K sounds appear as a sharp drop in energy, showing that the word ends clearly. The second waveform shows an incorrect pronunciation, commonly said as milk. Here the vowel I is replaced by E, which makes the vowel sound more open. In Pratt, this change can be seen in the different waveform shapes and vowel quality, making the word sound less natural.
So let's move on to the words that I've chosen, which is Wednesday and women. So for the wrong pronunciation for Wednesday will be Wednesday. Meanwhile, the right pronunciation is Wednesday. Alright, so the word Wednesday has two syllables. The primary stress falls on the first syllable, which is Wens. In the sound wave, this stress syllable appears with a higher amplitude, meaning it is louder and stronger compared to the second syllable. The second syllable, which is day, has a lower amplitude and smoother wave pattern because it is unstressed. The difference in wave height shows how stress is marked acoustically. So for my second word, which is women, the wrong pronunciation would be woman. Meanwhile, the right pronunciation is women. Women. So woman is pronounced as women, not woman. Again, the stress is on the first syllable, which is wim. In the sound wave, the first syllable shows a taller, stronger waveform, while the second syllable appears weaker and shorter. This reflects reduced energy in unstressed syllables. In terms of intonation, both words use a neutral falling tone when spoken in isolation because they are single lexical items rather than full sentences. However, the stressed syllables still stand out through greater loudness, clearer vowel quality, and slightly longer duration. In conclusion, the sound waves of both words clearly show that stressed syllables have higher amplitude and energy, while unstressed syllables appear weaker, helping listeners recognize the correct pronunciation.